Joined now by a man from one of the top battlegrounds in the entire country, Georgia. He's the lieutenant governor there, Burt Jones. And before we get into some serious discussion here about 2024 and the fate of the Union, are you really excited for the debut of the 2024 Atlanta Braves? Are you as excited as I am, Lieutenant Governor?
Hey Clay, good to be with you today. And we're always excited about the Braves season coming around, and I think they're going to have another great team this year, and they'll be making another run for the World Series, hopefully. But we always get excited about our Braves, and glad that season's starting, because this is kind of a lull time after, we're so big college football fans down here. We get done with college football and everybody's kind of depressed for a little while. So the Braves always usually get everybody back in a good mood in
Yeah, I
springtime and
always
everything
think
else.
the Braves are the Southeastern Conference, the SEC's football team, because there aren't that many Major League Baseball teams in the South. So everybody fights
That's
about Alabama, Auburn. I know you played football at Georgia, Tennessee, all
Yep.
those different teams, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. And then they all kind of come together and end up rooting for the same team, the Atlanta Braves. So it is kind of
Yep.
the SEC's team.
Yeah, absolutely. You said it perfectly right there. The Braves are kind of brings all the college football fans together, and it's one of those things that if we pull from Alabama, South Carolina, and obviously Tennessee will always seem to come, and you see a lot of people all go to there at Truist Park there and enjoy the Braves, and they're going to have another great season. But they got great leadership, great ownership, and they're just really a fun organization to get behind.
Based on what you see on the ground right now in Georgia, the polls all seem to suggest that Trump will win Georgia and that Georgia will flip back red.
Sure.
2022, by and large, most statewide office holders, yourself included, won kind of
Right.
across the board. How optimistic do
Sure.
you think not only Georgians, but everybody listening all over the country should be about the situation on the ground 7 months out in Georgia? Do you think it flips back red? And how much more secure do you think the elections will be based on some of the moves that y'all have made?
Well, that's a great question. I'm pretty confident about Georgia being red this presidential cycle, just because of, number one, you said it best. Every one of our constitutional officers won statewide, from the governor to myself and on down the ballot, and we won by pretty convincing numbers. Governor had 8 points over Stacey Abrams. I won by 6 points, and everybody else kind of was in the 6 to 5 range. So feel really good about our chances. The main reason why I feel good about our chances is because of how irrelevant or how terrible the Biden administration has been on so many fronts, whether you're talking about the border or the economy or, on the world stage. It's really been horrible. It's been embarrassing. And I think a lot of people are nervous about particularly this border situation, where we've had over 10 million people come across the border totally unchecked, and they're spreading all across the country, and you're seeing a lot of bad effects from crime increases and overflowing of our hospitals, schools, everything. It's really not a good situation right now, and I think that's probably going to help be the catalyst that brings Georgia and a lot of other states across the finish line.
We're talking to the Lieutenant Governor of Georgia, Burt Jones. We even talked on this program about the fact that there's been some whispers that Democrats are saying, hey, in Georgia, maybe don't spend money here. Maybe go to North Carolina instead, with the idea being that they're so concerned about the where the money's going to get allocated that they don't think Georgia's really in play. Do you kind of hear those whispers from Democrats? Do you think if they even had to analyze this right now, they would say that Georgia is Trump's to lose and that the flip back in 2024 may be well on its way?
I would say, I'm going to go a step further. I would say that they might be wasting their time in Georgia and states like Georgia and states like North Carolina. I think if there's going to be a path for the other side to win. I think their resources would probably be better served spending time in places like Michigan and Wisconsin and places like that, because I just don't sense – I can't go anywhere, Clay, and find anybody who is a Biden supporter, and I'm talking about your middle-of-the-road Republicans, middle-of-the-road Democrats, and even your left Democrats. You don't hear them really getting excited about Joe Biden being reelected. Yeah, hey, look, he came to Atlanta a couple weeks ago, and so did Trump. Trump came to Rome, Georgia, which is a little small town in North Georgia, and Biden went to downtown Atlanta. Trump had almost 6,000 people in an auditorium with people waiting outside, and Biden could barely get 20 or 30 people, and what it looked like mostly reporters that were in there in a room, so in a classroom there in Atlanta. So I don't think there's any enthusiasm for Biden. I don't think he's warranted any enthusiasm. And yeah, if I was a betting person, I would put my money on Trump, not just for Georgia, but for a lot of other states in the country.
What do you think, the big story nationwide, obviously, not only about what's going to happen in 2024, and we're talking to the Lieutenant Governor of Georgia, Burt Jones. What do you think as you look at this Fani Willis debacle, Fani Willis, however you want to say it? I think it's been a black eye for the state of Georgia, what's been going on in Fulton County. What can the legislature do? What should the larger apparatus of Georgia political unity or Georgia political service, what should happen in your mind based on what you see? And what do you think of the prosecution and the cases surrounding her hiring her lover? She's admitted to it now. He's been fired, Nathan Wade. How would you assess that from a Georgia state government perspective?
Yeah, it's been a total embarrassment, no question about that. I mean, it's from the start, it's been a political charade that DA has been playing. She's just been trying to self-promote herself. Been getting funding from I don't know where, outside of the state of Georgia, from her campaign when she first ran to what's to her political apparatus now. So I don't know who the money people are behind her, but she has obviously been using this for trying to grandstand and promote herself. And it has been very embarrassing for the state of Georgia and for Fulton County, which is a place that's hard to embarrass, quite frankly, just to be honest. And she has really taken this and I think misused the legal system to try to just for political shenanigans. Really, is what it amounts to. She tried to come after me. She was disqualified from investigating me because of her, holding open fundraisers for guys running against for lieutenant governor. And obviously she, was having this relationship. I think she was misusing taxpayer money with her friend, Nathan Wade, that she had to let, or he resigned from the case after, it was founded that they were taking all these lavish trips since his employment there in Fulton County. But the state, we put together a Senate committee that is looking into the misappropriation of tax dollars because Fulton County does get state dollars and some dollars are allocated to that Fulton County government, and so we're investigating how those dollars may have been misused, and so we're gonna have our own investigation of the DA's office there, and we also set up what they call a prosecutor's oversight panel that has the authority to look at any DA. We've got a few DAs here in this state who are bad operators, but this panel is set up to bring penalties against DAs who are not enforcing the laws or not doing their jobs as their oath of office asks them to do. And so we are going to be very aggressive in going after bad actors in general that hold those DA positions, but we're also going to be looking into this particular DA in Fulton County and her potential misuse of state dollars with this, like I said, circus that she's been doing for the last 3 years in this Trump case.
Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones with us talking about the Fani Willis case. The other question that I get asked a lot, I think the Georgia legislature just finished its session, if I'm not mistaken. You can correct me on this.
Last night, matter of fact.
Yeah, last night, okay, at midnight, I think. What happened with sports gambling? Because I'm in Tennessee. I'm going to be honest with you. Y'all in Georgia were one of the first people to get the state lottery, and you sent everybody off to UGA, give them the scholarships. My family, I got a lot of them in Chattanooga. They would drive across state lines to go get lottery tickets, go buy their gas in the morning or whatever. Now I hear from a lot of Georgians that they drive into Tennessee to place their bets on SEC football to get all that stuff taken care of. What are y'all doing down there? What's the latest?
Unfortunately, we passed it, and this is something we've done in the Senate the last couple of years because we think that it's an opportunity that we're missing out on as far as from revenue dollars are concerned. We estimate about $100 million, and that's a conservative estimate annually that we could collect from just having sports betting included under our Georgia lottery system already. And last year we passed it out of the Senate, and then the House said they thought it needed to be a constitutional amendment, which means put it on the ballot. So this year we said, okay, we'll do that. So we passed the constitutional amendment. In order to do that, you have to have 2/3 in both chambers in order to do that. We were able to get that in the Senate. We passed it over to the House probably a month and a half ago, and they never could muster up either the will to do it or the votes to get it done. So it died as of last night. And like I said before, I think it's like picking up dollars in the street. Personally, I mean, I think it's something that is going on everywhere. As you said, you've got friends that do it. I've got friends that do it, and the only thing that we're not doing as a state is we're not regulating it, and we're not collecting any state dollars from it. So $100 million, I don't know about you, but that can send a lot of kids up here in Georgia. That can send a lot of kids, help pay for a lot of kids' education, and that's what our Georgia lottery system has been very successful at doing. And we got to keep, in order for it to continue to be successful, you got to always, it's got to always be producing revenue dollars for it.
Last question for you, and we're talking to Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones of the great state of Georgia. You played for the Georgia Bulldogs college football. You guys, obviously, I think you got screwed out of getting in the playoff this past year. How many games Georgia going to win this coming year? Are you guys going to make the 12-teamer playoff? What do you think?
Oh, I think there's no question. Kirby is a dear friend of mine. He and I played together, and he's doing a heck of a job as a head football coach over there. He's building a program that is very Saban-esque, that like Saban did at Alabama. Of course, he worked for Coach Saban for over a decade, and so they're a lot alike in how their philosophy and how they go about things. So I think Georgia is going to be in the mix every year as long as Kirby Smart's the head coach. I think they'll be in the conversation because he's got a factory going over there. He's reloading, All-American standouts left and right. So he's got him a factory that will be, I think, competing every year for a national title, definitely SEC championship. And so it is very exciting to be a Georgia football fan right now. I can tell you that.
Tell Kirby I said hi. He's an awesome guy. He and I played in a charity golf tournament for Regions a few years ago. And we were in the same golf cart for 5 years. 5 hours. That was a long round, but he was recruiting pretty hard even during that. So he's a good dude. Tell him I said hi. Keep up the good work.
He's a good golfer and a heck of a competitor, too. He talks a little smack, too. So I bet you if you were in there for 5 hours with him, you probably heard a little smack, too.
I did. Well, we were on the same team. It was a poor team, I'm not going to lie. But we had a good time. Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, we appreciate you, my man. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Look, there are some companies out there that feel perfectly confident asking you to spend several $100s on a single set of bed sheets. It doesn't make the sheets any better necessarily, but some people feel like they have to spend a lot. Not with MyPillow. What if you can get the same quality sheets for $59, $69? Giza Dream Sheets will hook you up in a big way. You can get a queen size set for just $59.98, king size set for just $10 more, plus free shipping. Go to mypillow.com, click on the radio listener special square, Giza Dream Sheets. You're going to love them. We have them on every bed in the Travis household. And when you click on the square, you'll find other details, 60% off the original My Slippers as well. Use our names, Clay and Buck, for the special pricing, mypillow.com. Do it today.